Hi, I'm Paul Wilson, creator of the Body Swing and the director of the Paul Wilson Golf School at Bears Best Las Vegas. Here's a great tip to help you with your golf swing. If you like this tip, make sure you give me a thumbs up, then click on the red button to subscribe to my channel, then click on the bell so you're notified when I post new tips, and please tell all your friends about my tips. You know, there's a lot of other people out there that need help too. In this tip, I'm talking about the two ways to practice when you come out to the range. The first way is to do a warm-up session when you're about to play. So let's say you're short on time, you've only got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, then you're going to the first tee to go play. The second way is a specific practice session. That's where you're going to be doing drills and working on your different swing positions and that sort of thing. That is a completely different way to practice. All right, so let me talk about the first way if you were gonna go warm up just before a round of golf. So what I would do is, first off, I'd do a few stretches. You know, I like to kind of stretch out my fingers, kind of maybe some wrist things. You know, some of these, I would do arm circles, and then I would stretch out my legs, kind of like this, bend like that, stretch each leg, you know, just different little things that I do. Now, you know, you might have different ones, and that's perfectly fine. You're just trying to get a little bit loosened up. All right, so now, like I say, we've only got, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, then we're going to the tee. So here, this is just, again, it's a warm-up. So a warm-up doesn't mean you're going to sit here and hit perfect shots. All right, I'm telling you, if you hit the ball great on the range before your round of golf will be a complete disaster. And you probably know what I'm talking about because that has probably happened to you before. So that's happened to me many, many times, and I do not warm up trying to hit every shot perfectly. I am here to do just that, warm up. Okay, I don't pick a target, I just hit a few shots, get loose, and then I go to the first tee with no expectations. And that's the problem, you know, you come out here, hit every ball, you know, within a few feet of this pin out here, and then, you know, hit perfect drive after perfect drive. Your expectation levels are too high. Now when you go to the first tee, you don't hit that first ball amazing, you know, now you're scrambling, you know, oh boy, I was just hitting it great on the range, now I'm hitting it terrible, what's going on? And now you start overthinking everything. You start analyzing your swing and that sort of thing. So imagine if you change that, you came out to the range and you just hit some warm-up shots, now you're nice and loose, you didn't even really care about where the ball was going, now you have no expectations. Now you go to the first tee, and I'm telling you, you start doing it that way, you will play way better golf than what you have in the past. All right, so here is what I would do in a warm-up session. All right, so got my sand wedge. I would start off, and I would just hit, you know, 5, 10, 15 little tiny pitch shots, just nice, easy ones, maybe 3 or 4 or 3, 4, 5 little short ones. Okay, just right here. I'm just kind of getting in the flow and just kind of trying to start off nice and loose. Okay, you don't want to step up, start, you know, hitting all your clubs as hard as you can. So I'm trying to build up to, you know, hitting the longer stuff in a minute. So just a few little short ones. You know, again, I don't even care where they go. I'm just getting loose. You know, it doesn't even matter to me. So here, you know, little 3/4. Okay, so once I do that, then I'm going to get up to full swings. Okay, so a few full swings with the sand wedge, kind of like this. I'm just gonna, okay, I don't even really care about it, doesn't matter to me. Again, I'm trying to do my full swing just at a nice, easy pace. So here we go, you know, like that. So once I've hit a few of those, then I'm probably gonna go up to a 9-iron. Okay, right here. I'm gonna hit a few 9-irons. Okay, just to, again, full swing, easy though. See, I'm not gonna start off hitting driver. I'm just gonna hit some easy 9-irons. Okay, So you kind of watch it take off, but don't even watch where it lands. You're trying to not see that. If you want to not even hit towards a green, that's fine. So I'm going to hit this over here. There's no green over there, so I don't even care. Again, I'm just here to warm up. Okay? So I've hit a few of those. Then I might get to a 7-iron right here. Now, also what I'm doing here, I'm taking into consideration the course I'm playing. So let's say I've played this course before. You know I'm going to have a few long irons, maybe a couple of hybrids. Maybe there's a bunch of par 5s, and I need to hit a few 3-woods. So I would be doing that after I hit a few 7-irons. So right here, just get loose. Okay. So we hit a few of those. Doesn't matter. You're not even thinking about it out there. Just loosen up right here. One thing you could do, take note of your shots. If you were hitting here, sitting here slicing everything, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. So in a case like that, you could sit here, just loosen up your wrists a little bit, just so we don't sit here and go out there and slice every shot. But again, simple stuff. You're not even really thinking too much about it. Okay, now I know I'm gonna hit a 3-wood a few times today. So now I would grab my 3-wood, hit a few of these just to get that feeling. Okay, so see how I'm hitting that. And then, of course, I'm gonna go up to driver. So with driver, I probably wouldn't be trying to hit it as hard as I could. Just again, nice, easy, kind of, don't go out of your shoes, because, now you're not even gonna make half decent contact. Again, we're loosening up, hit a few drivers, don't even worry about it out here, just kind of get loose. That's the whole point. Okay? So you'd hit a few drivers, and then you could either warm down or now go hit a few pitches, chips, putts before you go play, okay? Again, you've got very limited time. You didn't even really care about where your shots were going. You were here to warm up. Now you're nice and loose. Now you go to the first tee. Okay, so that's your warm up. Now, let's say you have some time. You've been, watching some YouTube tips, and you've got a few ideas of what you're going to work on. So you think, wow, I'm going to go out to the range today and actually work on my swing. So you're going to come out with your bucket of balls, and now we're going to practice differently. Okay, so let's go back to our sand wedge. Again, we're going to hit a few sand wedges here. I don't have an alignment stick on the ground yet, so I'm going to hit a few little easy shots. Again, just warming up, little 3/4 swings, full swings, sand wedge. Okay, this is what I do anyway. So then I go up to full 9-irons, easy, okay? Right here, easy, full swing, bunch of 9-irons. All right, so now I'm feeling a little bit loose. Again, I would stretch too before I started hitting. So now, when I'm gonna go to work on my swing, now I'm gonna grab my 7-iron. You could do a 6 or a 7. You wanna do a middle of the road club. If you're making swing changes, it's not too drastic from a 6 or 7 to a pitching wedge or a driver. If you sit here and you're working on your swing with a pitching wedge, well, driver's gonna feel pretty weird. So you wanna pick a middle of the road club, 6 or 7-iron, okay? So we grab our 7-iron, and then of course we grab our alignment stick. Okay, so this is where we're gonna put this down. So what we wanna do, we wanna find a nice piece of grass here, get our ball in position, and now we're gonna put our stick down. So right ahead of me here, there's a green. The pin has fallen out, but that's the green I would be looking at. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball it for a second, and then I'm gonna go way back here. I'm gonna tap this stick, make sure it's perfect. Okay, just for ease of this tip, I've got it approximate. All right, so I've got my alignment stick. Now I have got some tees here too. So if I was working on something a little bit tricky, I would be teeing up every ball. I would be doing lots of practice swings, working on the thing I was working on. Maybe I'm working on, you know, shortening my backswing, or stopping, you know, laying the club off at the top, or whatever it is. There's like a million things you could be working on. But you want to do that with the alignment stick, because you want to practice from a very square position. So when you put the stick down, make sure you're checking feet, knees, hips, shoulders. You want to hit all your shots from dead square. You tee it up to make it a little bit easier when you're making changes. Even pros tee up the ball if we're working on something. That's because now we have a little bit of room for error. If you hit all these balls off the ground like this, you got to do it perfectly. So if you're trying to do a swing change and you're not good at it, you know, you might top the first 2 or 3 shots and then think that that change isn't working, when really you could have just teed it up and they got a little room for error. You don't even have to do it perfectly. Now you can just work on your changes and still see some pretty good shots. So practice session, I would be working with a 7-iron. Okay, now I'm keeping an eye on my ball, watching it relative to my target, you know, and now I'm out here with a very specific purpose. Another thing you could do is separate your golf balls. Okay, so this is one thing I like people to do. Separate the bulk of the balls into 2 piles. So you have a bigger pile of balls here and a smaller pile of balls here, okay? Now, if you're working on your swing, I want you to work on your swing with the bulk of the balls. Again, doing practice swings, specific goal in mind. Don't think you're gonna come out here and hit every shot perfectly. You are here to work on whatever you are working on. Maybe there's 1 or 2 things. Don't work on 10. Work on 1 or 2 to try and master those, to get those into your swing. Okay? And just understand, again, you're not trying to hit every shot perfectly. Okay? This is where a lot of people go wrong. You know, they keep trying to hit perfect shots when they're working on something. It doesn't work like that. You're working on a move or a drill or something to get that into your swing, so then you do that, you know, long into the future. So you're not good at it though. So you don't care about the ball, you care about the moves. You're trying to do the moves. Okay, so that's the concept here. So after you've done that, you've had a nice practice session, you hit all of these golf balls, the smaller pile over here, that you're gonna save that as like your treat for doing the bulk of the work with this. So your treat is going to be, I get to hit those with my driver. Okay, so that's your treat. So too many people, you know, they come out and they would hit the bulk of the balls with driver and never really work on anything. So it's not about, you know, one specific club. It's about learning the swing. You have one swing, you have different clubs that all use that swing. Okay, it's just easier when you're working on a middle of the road club versus just sitting here pounding driver after driver after driver. Because what's going to happen is, as soon as you go to driver, you're going to start swinging out of your shoes on every single shot. Now you're all locked up. You know, let's say you don't hit a few good drivers right away. Now you're going to get all, you know, flustered, and it's going to be a disaster. So you really haven't accomplished anything. You know, why not just do it with a 7-iron, right? Especially on some of these moves you might be working on, they're kind of tricky. Okay, so you've hit all those balls. Now your treat is driver. So I would kind of not start off swinging out of my shoes. I would kind of be thinking, you know, just kind of smooth and, you know, trying to work on or trying to replicate what I was doing with my 7-iron with my driver. Okay, again, you're trying to build the swing. Okay, you got to get the movement, and then you have to do the movement with all of your clubs. So driver, for some people, is the hardest club to hit. So might take you a few practice sessions to do that new move with the driver and see the result. Okay, so don't just stand here and just, start, trying to smash your driver as hard as you can. Just loosen up, go kind of easy. Now, again, your thought is of what you were trying to do a few minutes ago. So then now you're trying to put that in your swing. All right, so try to remember this into the future. I'm telling you, there's two different ways to go about doing this. I have gone through this a million times myself. I sit here, I'm about to play golf, I hit amazing shots on the range, and then it's just a disaster out there, okay? I'm telling you, that has happened to countless people. I'm sure it's probably happened to you too. So let's stop doing that. Come out here to warm up. You're getting loose. That just means you're loosening up. You don't care how well you hit it out here. Yes, if you're, like I said earlier, if you're hitting a few slices, okay, just, loosen up your wrists a little bit, roll it over a little bit just to get rid of like a massive slice, okay? Once you're warmed up, then go play. I'm telling you, that will make the world of difference because now you're gonna go on to the first tee with no expectations. On the flip side of that, if you're coming out here to practice, let's go through the steps that I explained. This is about working on a movement, a swing position that you're trying to perfect. Maybe you're doing little drills, okay? Do not expect to hit every shot perfectly. That is not going to happen. You're trying to work on that thing to build a better swing. So you keep repeating it over and over again with a mid-iron after you've loosened up. Keep doing your moves, okay? That might take 5 or 10 practice sessions. Hopefully, if you're trying to learn something super fast, you're also going to be doing practice swings literally on a daily basis at home. Okay, once a week is not going to cut it. Okay, if you're working on specific movements, you have to do them very consistently for a while until you've got them into your swing and you can do them without thinking about it. So some big changes, they might even take you a month. So just work on them when you're at the range, work on them daily at home, and then pretty soon you've built the swing. All right, so hopefully you understand that, and you're gonna start practicing the right way. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. I've been teaching a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing now since 1991. If you'd like to learn this type of swing, then head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you some free samples of my Body Swing book and video series that take you step by step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing. So once again, head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you the free samples right away.